A world brimming with noise and information, the practice of Zen meditation, Zazen, offers a profound invitation to step into silence, to strip away the layers of thought and intellectual analysis that often cloud our perception. It is a call to experience life as it truly is, in its raw immediacy, free from concepts, judgments, and preconceptions. Yet, this path to direct realization is paradoxical. For a tradition that emphasizes direct experience over intellectual understanding, Zen is filled with language, words, phrases, and koans. These seemingly contradictory elements force us to confront the tension between language and experience, conceptualization and direct perception. This tension invites us to examine the paradox at the heart of Zen. How can language, which seems to limit direct experience, be a tool for awakening? Zen meditation is not just about sitting quietly, it's about cultivating a specific kind of awareness, one that transcends ordinary thought and reaches into the very essence of reality. This essence is beyond conceptualization, and yet Zen offers teachings, stories, and koans that use language to point toward that which cannot be expressed through words. Understanding the role of language, particularly in the form of koans, is key to understanding Zen itself. Welcome to the unfolding journey, where we explore deep concepts of meditation, spirituality, and living authentically in the present moment. Whether you're just beginning your spiritual practice or you're a seasoned seeker, this channel is a space for deep reflection and meaningful dialogue. If you're looking to explore the intricacies of Zen meditation, the paradoxes of language, and the transformative potential of direct experience, you're in the right place. Be sure to subscribe to join our community and stay connected on this journey of discovery and realization. Zen meditation, or Zazen, is the foundation of Zen practice. While it can be understood as simply sitting, this practice is far more profound than its outward simplicity suggests. The term Zazen comes from two Japanese words, zie, meaning to sit, and Zen, meaning meditation or contemplation. Zazen is often referred to as seated meditation, but its true essence goes far beyond the act of sitting. In Zen, meditation is not a technique for achieving a particular goal or state of mind. It is not about cultivating specific thoughts or feelings but about letting go of all thoughts and concepts, allowing the mind to rest in a state of openness, awareness, and presence. It is a practice of returning to the natural state of the mind, unfiltered and unclouded by intellectual constructs. This emphasis on being fully present, without the interference of concepts, allows the practitioner to experience the moment directly. The goal of Zazen is often described as waking up or seeing things as they truly are, Kensho or Satori in Zen terminology. It's about realizing the fundamental nature of existence, a realization that cannot be captured by the intellectual mind or by language. As Zen master Dogen wrote, to study the Buddha way is to study the self. To study the self is to forget the self. To forget the self is to be enlightened by all things. This process of awakening is not something that can be done through mental effort or intellectual understanding. Zen teaches that intellectual knowledge and analysis only serve to reinforce the illusion of a separate self and keep us trapped in conceptual thinking. True awakening comes when we step outside the domain of thought and experience life as it is, unmediated by the conceptual mind. The paradox of language in Zen. This brings us to one of the central paradoxes of Zen, the role of language. If Zen emphasizes direct experience, then why does it use language at all? The answer lies in the unique function of language in Zen teachings. While Zen acknowledges the limitations of language, it also recognizes that words can serve as powerful tools to point toward the truth. The purpose of language in Zen is not to explain or describe reality but to disrupt the usual patterns of thought and to guide the practitioner to a deeper, non-conceptual experience of reality. Zen uses language in ways that defy ordinary usage. Through stories, teachings, and especially koans, Zen seeks to move the practitioner beyond conventional thinking. Koans are paradoxical statements or questions that, when approached with the intellectual mind, make no sense. Their primary purpose is not to provide answers but to encourage a shift in perception. One of the most famous koans, "What is the sound of one hand clapping?" illustrates this perfectly. The question itself is nonsensical. In the world of logic, one hand cannot clap. But in the world of Zen, the question is not about finding an answer through logic. Instead, it is about challenging the practitioner to go beyond the limits of logical thinking and into a direct experience of reality. The tension between language and direct experience is at the heart of Zen practice. Language, when used conventionally, creates separation between subject and object. We name things, categorize them, and interpret them through the lens of language. But Zen teaches that this way of thinking keeps us trapped in a dualistic understanding of reality. Zen aims to break down these dualities and allow us to experience the world directly, without the interference of thought or language. The role of koans in Zen practice. Koans are central to the Zen tradition, especially in the Rinzai school. They are short, often paradoxical stories or questions that don't make sense when approached logically. Koans are meant to be meditated upon, not solved in the traditional sense. The practitioner does not approach a koan with the goal of finding the right answer. Instead, the koan is used as a tool to bring the practitioner to the edge of conceptual thinking, where the mind can no longer grasp at answers and must instead surrender to direct experience. One of the most famous koans is the question, "Does a dog have Buddha nature?" The traditional answer to this koan is mu, which means no or not. However, the response is not meant to be understood intellectually. It is not a simple negation. It is a way of pointing to the fact that the concept of Buddha nature cannot be understood through intellectual analysis or dualistic thinking. The koan pushes the practitioner to go beyond the question itself and enter into the experience of mu. It is through this process of working with the koan that the practitioner begins to loosen the grip of conceptual thinking and enter into a more direct, intuitive understanding. Koans often work by pushing the mind to its limits. When a person is confronted with a koan, they may feel frustrated, confused, or overwhelmed. This is precisely the point. The koan breaks the usual patterns of thought and creates a space in which the practitioner must confront their attachments to thinking, to concepts, and to the very idea of self. In the face of a koan, the practitioner is forced to give up the idea that understanding can come through analysis alone. True understanding, Zen teaches, is not something that can be grasped by the intellect but something that can only be realized in direct experience. Zen and the nature of experience. What Zen teaches us, through the use of koans and other practices, is that intellectual knowledge and conceptual thinking are not sufficient for understanding reality. Experience, not thought, is the key to awakening. In Zen, true understanding is not something that can be articulated in words or described in concepts. It is something that can only be directly experienced, beyond the confines of language and thought. Zen practices, particularly Zazen, aim to bring us into direct contact with this experience. The paradox of Zen, however, is that while language cannot directly express the experience of awakening, it is still used as a tool to guide the practitioner to the experience itself. Through paradoxical language, through koans, and through the teachings of Zen masters, the practitioner is guided beyond the realm of conceptual thinking and into a more profound, non-conceptual understanding. This experience is not limited to Zen practice alone. It is available to all people in all moments, if they are willing to step outside the mental framework that separates them from direct experience. As Zen master Dogen wrote, the truth is not something you can know or understand. It is something that you must experience. In Zen, the emphasis is not on knowing facts or acquiring information but on cultivating the ability to experience life fully, without the interference of thought or language. The limitations of language in Zen. Zen acknowledges the limitations of language while still using it as a tool for pointing beyond itself. The teachings of Zen do not attempt to describe the ultimate reality but to point toward it, much like a finger pointing at the moon. The finger is not the moon, it merely points toward it. Similarly, Zen language points toward the direct experience of reality but can never fully capture or express that experience. In this sense, language in Zen serves as a kind of pointer, a tool that guides the practitioner to a deeper understanding, not through conceptual thought but through direct, experiential realization. This realization is beyond the scope of words. As Zen master Bankei once said, the mind is not something that can be grasped or held onto. It is not a thing that can be taught or explained. It is the awareness that is always present here and now. The practice of Zen meditation and the use of koans invite us into a deeper, more direct experience of reality, one that transcends the limits of language and conceptual thinking. While Zen acknowledges the power of language to point beyond itself, it also recognizes that words can never fully capture the truth. True understanding comes not through intellectual analysis but through direct experience, an experience that is always available to us, if we are willing to step beyond the confines of thought and into the present moment. Zen is a path of awakening, a path that leads us beyond the surface of things and into the heart of reality. It is a path that challenges us to let go of our attachment to concepts, to language, and to the idea of a separate self. Through practices like Zazen and the contemplation of koans, we are invited to experience the world as it is, without the interference of mental filters or conceptual thought. It is only in this direct experience that we can truly understand the nature of existence, and it is only through this experience that we can awaken to the profound truths that lie hidden in plain sight. If this exploration into the paradox of Zen and the role of language has sparked something within you, don't forget to subscribe to the unfolding journey. By subscribing, you'll be joining a community dedicated to delving deeper into life's mysteries and cultivating a more meaningful, authentic existence. Let's continue this journey of self-discovery, of breaking through conceptual barriers, and finding direct experience together. Subscribe now and stay connected on this transformative path.